The main skills that we have to use if you're going to swim in a tail are freediving principles. And recently, they've actually standardized the industry a little bit, and you can get certified in mermaiding the same way you can get certified as a scuba diver or a freediver, and that's very new. And I know it probably sounds really weird, but at the rate that this hobby and job is going, I think it's really important. It teaches people how to be safe. So I have my advanced certification in mermaiding, and I have my regular certification in freediving. And in order to achieve those, I had to do a 2.5-minute breath hold. So I had to work myself up to that. And then my jerk of a husband, who did no training whatsoever, came in and did 2 minutes on his first try. So I was really mad about that. That's him there. You need to also understand buoyancy control, and a lot of what you're doing when you're learning these skills is learning how to take turns being a safety person to the other person. So in order to pass my advanced mermaid, I did it in Mexico, and I had to rescue another mermaid who was drowning, and I had to do it while I was in the tail. So I had to swim back to shore carrying this mermaid and giving them fake CPR. And I did that and got my certification. So I know that I can do that. When I'm running my business and we're doing birthday parties and stuff, we often do save children from drowning simply because we are at their level and we see them before the lifeguards see them, and we're already in position in the pool, so it's not hard for us to just dive down and grab a kid. So we've averted many a crisis that way. But yeah, freediving is one of the big things, and the costumes themselves, they're restricting your legs. They're holding your legs in place, and that can be, for some people, really claustrophobic, and sometimes it can be a deal breaker. You can have a person who's really obsessed with the idea of mermaid swimming, or even just posing in the costumes, throw all their money and time at a tail, get it, and then feel really claustrophobic in it, and then not want to have anything to do with it. So that is kind of an important thing too, that I caution people before they go out and spend money on this kind of a purchase. So freediving is a big one. This picture right here, I was taking a course where I was learning all this stuff. And in my film, all the different shots, like this is the shot that turned out, and the shots that didn't turn out, there was a gator behind me. And all the people in Mexico at the cenote where we did this, they just did not care that there was a gator. Like, they were super chill about this gator. And I'm like, I'm from Nova Scotia, like I don't swim with gators. This is wild. So again, safety-wise, like just the natural environment and animals and stuff is something we have to be aware of too. So in the maritime provinces, that's more things like sea urchins, accidentally touching one on the floor. Jellyfish, their tendrils can be translucent, and I can think that I'm swimming away from them, but if I'm not wearing goggles and not seeing it properly, I could swim into a jellyfish. This is me swimming in the Atlantic Ocean over here in Nova Scotia, and then this was during a workshop. So some of the skills too, I'm going to talk a bit more about this, a bit more in depth on these two topics on my Sunday talk, but just learning how to underwater model is really tricky too, because everyone's instinct is to go like this when they go underwater. I don't know why we all do that. It's universal, and like that air that's puffed in your cheeks is not helping you at all. It's not going to save your life, yet we all just seem to do it. And learning how to relax yourself underwater, how to open your eyes and feel comfortable underwater, how to cope with your hair when it starts choking you underwater, just making things look really natural and easy is actually really, really hard. So that's been a whole skill set, and even though I've been doing this so long, when I get together with other merfolk and I learn from them, I'm still learning techniques, so that's really cool. This is my tailmaker, Eric Ducharme. He's from Orlando, Florida, and that's showing his studio. I'm sharing these pictures with his permission. I'm not a maker, but I do know a lot about it, so I'm happy to answer whatever questions I can, but this is just a little peek behind the scenes. He's got a tail there that he's already assembled, and he is working on painting it, and as you see, he has to wear all this protective equipment. It's actually in a temperature-controlled room. It can be really difficult to deal with silicone, especially here in Canada, because if it gets too cold, it's not going to bond properly, or it's not going to cure properly. There's also a lot of off-gassing, and the silicone that we tend to use for this is like it's a chemical, so you have two parts that you mix together, and then mixing them together is what makes them actually work, versus like if you think of something like silicone caulking, that air cures, it dries to the air. And back in the day, when people couldn't really access tails, they would experiment with making things out of like caulking. It's not super safe, so it's something that we try to discourage people from.